top of the Yakatomi Plaza. This game's first to 21 points, but you gotta win by 2.
Oh, yeah. How are you gonna shoot over this?
Let's get it on!
So it looks like NBA Street is staying consistent with the stereotypes. This time we've got a Yao Ming clone, which is interesting considering he wasn't in the NBA. But at that time, remember, Yao had played, he was well known. He was in the 2000 Olympics. He was, you know, he waited a while before he came to the NBA. The Chinese wanted him to play in their league for a while to boost that up. So people were well aware of him, and the basketball community was well aware of him. So it's not like he was, you know, it was just coincidence that they created a boss character that happened to resemble Yao, a much more athletic Yao, no less. But, you know, this behemoth in the lane that can block shots. That in mind, I've gone with Iverson, Garnett, and T-Mac. I'm very happy with this lineup. This might be one of my favorite lineups to run with. The first boss challenge I'm doing without Jordan, I believe. And it's kind of cool to not rely on him. Iverson gets swatted by what's his name? Takashi. I think I'll stick with Yao. Takashi sounds Japanese though, but so I guess I've mixed it up a little bit. They've added some variation, probably to avoid copyright infringement. Regardless, here's Takashi going up against Garnett. Huge dunk. This guy's massive, absolutely massive. It'll be interesting to see how big Shaq is in this. So it would have been cool to be given the opportunity to play against Shaq. I think that's the last division to go, by the way, or the last sort of region in the game is the Lakers, the Kings, the Clippers. Haven't played the Sonics. I want to get Gary Payton. I haven't played the Blazers. I want to get Scottie Pippen. But yeah, so it would have been cool if I would have, I had the opportunity with Shaq up against. I nearly caught him, Yao. Takashi. That would have been cool. There's Garnett with a nice dunk over the top of him and his teammate. And I've got a 5-3 lead. Game Breakers it's coming along quite nicely too, so I've been in complete control of this one. And they're going to shoot a 3. No, they're not. They're going to pull it up and start dribbling, because why would you shoot an open 3 when you can dribble around for a little bit and then shoot a fadeaway 3 that's contested, but it drops, so no complaints there from the CPU. Iverson with a nice move. Going up and flushing it down. Nice move. Excellent move. That was sweet. I like that. 6-5, I'm up. And the T-Mac Iverson duo, I would have loved these guys to go head-to-head in the playoffs. They very nearly did in 2003, I want to say, when Iverson's Sixers made it to the conference semifinals. And you remember that T-Mac and the Orlando Magic went up against the Pistons. They're up 3-1. This is the first year they actually had a best-of-7 format in the first round. It was best-of-5 before that. If they had the old format, the Pistons would have been eliminated in 5. Nice shot by Kevin Garnett. Let's just toss it off the back of the backboard. T-Mac has to just jack it up. He misses it. Takashi gets the board. But yeah, so they were up 3-1, and under the old format, the series would have been over at that point, hypothetically. T-Mac's got the ball now. He's just dribbling. Not T-Mac, sorry, Iverson. He turns it over though. What were you doing? Get a shot. 7-2 now, but he's able to get it back. Puts it up. Very lucky. That should have been blocked. That was a near disaster on so many accounts there. Rattles around and goes down. I got a 4-point lead. But yes, getting back to what I was saying, the Orlando Magic had a 3-1 lead, and then they ended up losing 3 straight games as the world was introduced really to, or at least the NBA world was introduced to Tayshaun Prince, who was a rookie out of Kentucky, and his defense on T-Mac really slowed him down in that series, because remember, he had some monster games. He had back-to-back 40-point games in the that was what happened there? I don't know what that was. I got to describe what T-Mac just did. That he had a dunk. I'm thinking he may have tried to pass it. It came off the back of Iverson, and then he caught it in midair. That was one hell of a move. Completely unintentional though. But yeah, and Tayshaun Prince shut him down. I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, that's what I'll say. How cool it would have been if Iverson and T-Mac had gone head-to-head in their primes in the NBA playoffs. That would have been one hell of a duel. Because we all saw what happened with Vince Carter and Iverson when they were in their primes going head-to-head. It would have been even cooler with T-Mac. Also, Kevin Garnett, it would have been cool. Like, I know he won his ring in Boston. He wasn't in his prime then. He was close to it. He wasn't that far off it. But his prime really was before even his MVP season. It could have even been 2003 when you think about it. And he took his team to a 50-win record, and they lost to the Lakers in the first round. I think Troy Hudson was their second best player. Iverson turning the ball over again. It's not looking good so far. But KG was still clutch steal, and I'm going to dribble this game breaker out. I was in a bit of trouble there actually, considering that I squandered my lead from my own game breaker. Yeah, had they hit a 3 there, they would have had a 3-point lead. Iverson jacking up the 3 at the end. Misses it. I probably should have got the offensive board, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to be greedy there. I just defused their game breaker. 10 all though, and it's first to 11 essentially at this point. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see what would have happened with KG had he had a player like Iverson or T-Mac or Vince Carter. Now, I don't have too much sympathy for him though, because he's the one that pretty much locked the Timberwolves into a huge contract with me. He really caused the first lockout when you think back to it, because he was turning down, I think it was a bigger contract offer than what the Lakers gave Shaq. It was a contract extension. He turned it down, and that's what really scared owners into locking the players out, because they're like, where's this going to end? Never been on the side of the owners, never ever. But at that point, I could sort of understand it, because Garnett was, 3 years out of high school? And he was turning down, I think it was $120 million over 6 years. I can understand why the owners would be like, what the hell? So I can get that, and because of, he ended up signing something ridiculous like that. And because of that, Stephon Marbury had to go. Now, Marbury isn't a T-Mac or an Iverson, but he was pretty damn good. He was better than anything else that Kevin Garnett had in his prime. So really, it's his own fault and his agent's fault. Now, if he wanted the money, then cool. But he's not going to get sympathy from me for having a lack of teammates in that case. If anything, the basketball world was robbed of it, because we'll never know. We'll never know how good he would have been. His skill set, he was like a Scottie Pippen 2.0. And when I say 2.0, he was 7 feet. But he had the defensive ability of a Pippen, or close to. He could guard every position, really. People say that about LeBron, but that's not the case. LeBron hypothetically can, but he's not effective when he guards a 5. And he's not effective when he guards a point guard who can actually play a pick and roll. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, if you had, say, a T-Mac alongside him who is a designated scorer, and you had a Kevin Garnett who could do everything else like a Scottie Pippen, I think they would have won a championship or two in that situation. Anyway, back to the game. Up 17-14. T-Mac's played well. The only ones that hasn't really played well in this game has been Iverson, with some terrible turnovers, but it hasn't cost me too badly in this situation. He's now dancing with the ball. Another turnover right on cue. And they're distributing the ball quite well. Going up for the dunk. Big block by, I think that was T-Mac, but it could have been Garnett. We'll give it to both of them. Iverson dunking on the other end. It's 18-15 now at this stage. They're dribbling the ball up court. This is in LA, by the way, so I'm guessing they don't have any other LA courts, because that'll be the third one for the next region. I'm not sure where the final region will be. I'm pretty sure there's only one more region. They could split it into a few other ones. So they could be one big region, or they could be a couple of small ones. Anyway, back to the game. Garnett gets the ball stolen. This could be a close finish right here. Goes up for the dunk, but it's blocked by T-Mac. Clutch. Iverson sprinting down the lane. Dunks it on the top of Takashi. I nearly forgot his name. I had to look at the top right-hand corner. I've got a game breaker. T-Mac has it now. Dribbling the ball around. Giving it up to Iverson. Iverson's now dribbling it. Step back. 3. That is game. He's not going to miss that. And I have defeated Takashi, and I will move on to the next region.
Takashi is one tall mother, and now he's playing for you. Your entire defense just got a lot tougher. These guys showed up to play today, that's for sure.